You're still in the shot. We are live.
Good afternoon. This is Tim Farley of Armbar Audio. Next to me is my trusted companion,
John Kearns. What's up, everybody?
Today, we have asked you for your questions or subjects that you want us to talk about. And we are going to get right into them. The first comes from our friend, the Nerdy Mark, at Sid's 500. And he wants us to talk about the Firefly Funhouse and also Sheamus possibly retiring because he has the same condition that forced Edge and Page to retire. Okay, so firstly, Firefly Funhouse is the only thing I look forward to from WWE main roster programming at the moment. A little bit of backstory here. During his time off of television, Bray Wyatt posted a lot of cryptic tweets and notes from a doctor named Dr. M or Mercy talking about violent outbursts and trying to rehabilitate Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
All of those posts were deleted once the Firefly Funhouse came to effect. I'd also like to read from this article from Ringside News, as I think it has a lot of good information. Bray Wyatt's Firefly Funhouse gimmick is developing into something very interesting. As it turns out, they could be also hinting at some serious layers that WWE is adding to the Wyatt character. Mental health takes on different forms, and it appears that fans are getting a very deep and twisted look into Bray Wyatt's psyche through the Firefly Funhouse. WWE appears to have dropped some verbiage from therapy into new segments that could hint at a serious case of post-traumatic stress disorder for the Eater of Worlds. The Wrestling Observer newsletter notes that references embedded in the Firefly Funhouse segments certainly give off the appearance of PTSD therapy. A couple particular instances are especially apparent. One therapist noted that special place is a standard coping skill used for trauma. The artwork of the house on fire is also related to trauma therapy. Putting his hands over his heart is a reference to butterfly hugs, which are used for post-traumatic stress disorder therapy involving bilateral stimulation. As WWE continues in the direction for Bray Wyatt, it appears that even more will be revealed. We saw that he didn't seem to mind that one of his friends, aka Rambling Rabbit, was brutally murdered last week.
Not Rambling Rabbit!
Yep, Rambling Rabbit. So that was very intriguing as well. Wyatt painting a burning house and constantly referring to forgiveness also indicates that therapy could be a major root of this character. It is still uncertain how WWE plans on translating the Firefly Funhouse to the ring, but these new vignettes seem to be introducing Bray Wyatt as a character with post-traumatic stress disorder who is continually haunted by some kind of past trauma. I'd say that that's pretty interesting take and probably right on the nose. Bray Wyatt has also been on Twitter dropping clues and hints and stuff like that. I'm not going to get into those. But to me, when I first saw it, I thought of an Adult Swim type of comedy, like off-putting comedy.
Yeah.
Because it's obvious that it's not Mr. Rogers or something like that. The kids that were on the show last week did not look happy to be there. The way the buzzard and the wig look, those aren't likely to be in a kid's show. The only one that was Rambling Rabbit, he got eaten. And Bray Wyatt forgave his friend Mercy the Buzzard. I just think that it's very interesting to see where this will go and how it will translate to the ring. Because
so you said the doctor's name is Dr. Mercy?
Yeah.
And the buzzard's name is Mercy.
Correct.
Interesting.
Yes. So maybe he named his best friend after the doctor.
Maybe.
Or maybe the doctor named it for him.
Or maybe the buzzard was the doctor.
He followed the buzzard all the way into a psychiatric hospital?
Yeah. Anyway, it is the highlight of Raw every week. It really is.
Yep, and it doesn't even have any wrestling in it.
Some may say that that's sad, and they'd be correct.
I just think it's something that they're doing right.
It's damn entertaining. Bray Wyatt is entertaining. Even as Husky Harris, he was entertaining. So I say, let it happen. Rest of the budget was Bray.
Bray's doctor. It's sad.
It's sad.
We
We got a
got
program with Rollins and AJ and Ray's program. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
It's true.
We
DJ.
got a program with Rollins and AJ, and Bray's promo is the highlight of the show. That's
Goes to show you just how good of a talent Bray Wyatt can be whenever his creative ideas are put to use and he's allowed to be what he can be.
hell yes.
He is top notch. He always has been. And people need to realize that.
Recognize.
So, next into his comment or question, Sheamus. Now, Sheamus had spinal stenosis for a while now. That's why I'm pretty sure they put him with Cesaro in the tag team to take less bumps. But he was taking bumps left and right. He does a workout show on YouTube. And on the last appearance of the SmackDown before the break, he suffered a concussion.
Yeah.
So
that was April 9th.
I think everybody's case is individual. Obviously, Daniel Bryan came back. Paige and Corey Graves and Edge didn't, and Austin didn't. There's a lot of, he say, she say kind of stuff going on, but we really don't know. I think that if Sheamus has to retire, like our friend said, he has nothing to be ashamed of.
He said
he's had a great
he's
career.
had a solid career and should have no regrets.
Yeah. Sheamus is a character that, and I've gotten to debates with people about this, about the Hall of Fame and who's worthy and who's not worthy. And I remember having a debate about Alberto Del Rio and Sheamus. And Alberto Del Rio did have all these accolades, but is he a memorable character? Will he go down in time as someone that everyone remembers? Probably not. Look at someone like Coco Beware.
Unfortunately,
he never got to the top of the card, but he had a character that everyone remembered and associated with the WWF or WWE. Sheamus is one of those guys. He does have the accolades, but even so, his character, his gimmick, those screamed off the television and into the minds and hearts of the people watching. So, do I think he's Hall of Fame worthy? Yes. If he has to retire, they'll probably do like an Edge and put him right into the Hall of Fame. Do I think that he's done? I don't think so. I think that if he could be in a tag team with spinal stenosis and still be taking those bumps, he could go into another tag team. Or he could wrestle a lighter schedule like Randy Orton or something like that. I think he's achieved that type of status.
Yeah. I think we're at a point now where we could see Sheamus have like a farewell tour, kind of like what Kurt Angle did.
Yeah.
If he was to retire now, I could see him transitioning into a managerial role for somebody, possibly.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
Maybe Jordan Devlin.
Yeah, that'd be good. Or maybe he could bring Jordan Devlin up and get Becky Lynch with him and have like an all-Irish stable or something.
I think Becky Lynch is too big for that.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah, fine.
I'm sorry, John.
No, it's okay. A lot of my ideas get shot down. It happens.
It's okay, buddy.
That's why you're the fantasy booker. I'm not.
Anyway, so our next question comes from at Scarlet Demon 1 on Twitter. She wants us to give our opinions on the storylines that OVE, Madman Fulton, Ace Austin, and the Rascals are in Impact Wrestling. Well, first off, OVE and Madman Fulton. Okay. OVE, Sami Callihan is the most buzzworthy wrestler in Impact Wrestling. He has any feud he's in is a must-see for me. The Chris brothers are a great tag team, but lately they've been giving Jay Chris a lot of time in the X Division. If they're not going to put the X Division title on Jay Chris, they need to focus on the tag team because Dave is just floundering. Madman Fulton seems like what his name is. He seems like just the big giant that is there to intimidate and rock people, and he's doing it well.
Yeah,
and
I've always been a Fulton fan.
Yeah, and there's nothing to be ashamed of being
even before Sanity.
I mean, you had guys. Everyone remembers Ric Flair from the Four Horsemen, but when they went into the Hall of Fame and when they talked about the Four Horsemen, you always remembered Barry, you always remembered Tully, you always remembered Owen, and everybody else who was ever in that faction. So I think that I'm not comparing the two, but I am kind of. And I also think it's a good thing that Sawyer Fulton, or if that's his real name, but that's what he went in WWE, to be under the learning tree of Sami Callihan, because Sami Callihan has a great wrestling mind for the actual show and the business aspect, as we see a lot of his Ohio proteges being picked up by Impact. As you said, you wanted to talk about Ace Austin. Ace Austin is another Ohio guy. I really like his gimmick. It's like Gambit. It looks like they are priming him for an X Division, which is interesting because the number one contender is John Morrison. So if he doesn't go up against Rich Swann and he goes up against Morrison, even in losing, he will still get a good rub, if you know what I mean. He's even if you lose to John Morrison and you're that young and up and coming in Impact and put on a good show, you're still going to be top notch and learn and grow. So I think that's good. Let's see. Who else did she say? The Rascals, I believe, is the last one. I really liked the Rascals feud with Moose and the North. I think their feud with the North died a little too early, especially with RVD coming in, doing what they're doing with Ethan Page. Right now, it looks like they're teasing an LAX feud possibly, and that's great because LAX and the Rascals are no strangers to one another, not on Impact or anywhere else. They've wrestled each other multiple times in other promotions like Beyond Wrestling and AEW in Chicago. I really like that that 70s show type of vignettes. I think Trey, Dez, and Zach have good chemistry together, and their vignettes, especially with other wrestlers in their clubhouse, is quite funny. What's he saying?
Well, we have Christina Washington says Impact is a damn good women's roster.
Damn right.
And absolutely.
Tessa fucking Blanchard, best in the world. I don't care what anyone says.
Tessa Blanchard, they got Taya Valkyrie is fantastic. Jordan Grace is amazing.
Madison Rayne has stepped her game up.
Rosemary.
Sue Young. Next week, a Devil's Dog Collar match between Sue Young and Rosemary. I have a feeling it's going to be awesome this Friday.
What is a Devil's Dog Collar match?
Rosemary's looking for a pet.
Wow.
Or something. I don't know. I forget. But It looks awesome. So we'll go to the next one from Craig, Damien24 on Instagram. He wants us to talk about Sasha Banks' current situation. So apparently Sasha Banks wanted out of the WWE before WrestleMania. After WrestleMania, after losing the tag team titles, they gave her time off to think about what she wants. And lately she has been on social media. She said she wanted to wrestle Tessa Blanchard. She said that she posted a cryptic message that had graffiti with a B on it, and it said free, so like be free. So I think Sasha is really thinking about leaving WWE, and honestly, if I were her, I would. What do you think, John?
Well, DJ says that Sasha is not on the European tour.
Good. I think Sasha Banks is too good to be floundering in this mess of a women's division in WWE. I think WWE has an issue, not just with the women's division, but with wrestlers in general, to where they buy up a bunch of talent, and once they're off NXT, they don't know what to do with them. I don't know why they've treated Sasha the way they have. Some say that a lot of it is good, and it is. And some say that a lot of it is bad, and it is. But Sasha Banks, to me, is one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. And if she feels like she's not getting her just due or getting the matches she deserves in WWE, then she needs to go elsewhere. And where I would like to see her, honestly, I would like to see her do a tour of Japan, do some Stardom, do some Oz Academy, do some Sendai Girls, go up to Impact for a little bit, and then maybe land in AEW. Because she has a big name, she's young, she can still bring something to AEW. But I do think...
But we don't want to see AEW flooded with ex-WWE people.
It depends on who those WWE people are, to me.
Every time I see that tweet, no matter who says it, it's just like...
Well, it's always going to be like the Impact thing, right? Every time they got rid of somebody in WWE, they'd show up in Impact.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no matter where they were on the WWE card. I don't think that's what AEW is going to do. If AEW takes somebody from WWE, it's going to be somebody that they can mold, or it's going to be somebody who's already established.
And believe it or not, these wrestlers are going to go to whoever offers them the most money.
Right. But I do think she should spend some time in Japan like she wanted to before signing to WWE. She had the same case like CM Punk. They wanted to go to Japan, but WWE came calling first. Also, if she wants to wrestle Tessa Blanchard, she should go to Impact because they have a great women's division. I'd like to see her against Jordynne Grace as well, Taya Valkyrie, all the other women we said, Rosemary Sue Young, etc., etc. She could even do a tour of the Indies. Shimmer, amazing women talent. Shine, amazing women's talent.
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to go to Impact to fight Tessa Blanchard.
She could pull a Cody Rhodes.
Because Tessa tours the Indies.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore, but she still does.
All right.
What's our next question, Tim?
This one comes from @ManOfInfamy on Twitter, who's in the chat room right now, DJ Storms. Or should I say, DJ Storms! Tell me if I did that right. I know I don't have the facial hair for it.
Yeah.
Anyway, he says, I got some good topics. Talk about when the next NXT UK takeover might be, and do your own fantasy booking for the show. That's part one. When will the next NXT UK takeover be? I would guess somewhere in July. Somewhere between June 1st and SummerSlam.
Yeah, because summer is when they were doing those NXT tournaments. They were doing those in the summer.
What?
Or no. I fucked up. The summertime is when they were doing the UK title tournaments.
Yeah.
So it would make sense to have a big show in the summer.
Right.
Possibly another tournament.
I think the next challenger for Walter should be, if it's not going to be Pete Dunne, it should be Jordan Devlin. I think he's been picking up big wins. Also, I think he has a big upside, even in losing. You talked about this when we went over the Worlds Collide show about wanting to see Morgan Webster, Flash Morgan Webster, and Mark Andrews as a team.
Go for the tag team titles.
I'd want to see that. I'd like to see Travis Banks kick Kassius Ohno's job back. I'd love to see.
Speaking of Kassius Ohno, I was just texted another question. So when we're done with this, we can talk about that.
I would like to see Ring Conf take full version, full force during NXT UK TakeOver. Alexander Wolf said he will be going to NXT UK. We have Marcel Barthel, a.k.a. Axel Dieter Jr. there now. Fabian Eichner's essentially taking up the place of Timothy Thatcher, and Walter is there. The ring is sacred. I would love to see that happen. Maybe you have Alexander Wolf, Fabian Eichner, and Marcel Barthel against British Strong Style and Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, and Travis Banks. Trent Seven. They all have T names, for Christ's sake.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
For the UK TakeOver?
Tony Storm versus Jenny, probably.
Yeah, and Piper Niven versus Rhea Ripley for the women's title.
Not for the women's title. Tony has it.
Oh, Tony has it. Yeah. So yeah.
Or maybe make it a fatal 4-way.
Yeah, Piper Niven, Rhea Ripley, Tony Storm, and Jenny.
Yeah. The next part of his question is, you can also discuss what champions you think AEW will crown as their first champions. I have a theory on this, but you go ahead.
Well, for Double or Nothing, I'm picking Hangman Page over Pac. They're definitely going to have women's title. They're definitely going to have tag team titles. Tag team titles, I could see.
Wait, is Hangman and Pac for the title?
That's what the rumor has been since it was announced.
It's a rumor, but it's not confirmed.
Well, no, but it's
okay.
Ain't shit confirmed.
Well, my idea is this: Double or Nothing will be like all. What was the first one?
All In.
All In. I think the winners of Paige vs. Pac and Kenny and Chris are going to be on the first ever show, the television show, for the title.
Yes.
I'm picking Hangman Page, and I'm picking Jericho.
Yeah.
And I think Jericho's going to put over Page on the first ever Tuesday Dynamite show.
Yeah, I got you.
For the title.
Okay. So that has absolutely nothing to do with what his question was, though.
Yeah, he asked about the champions.
Yeah.
I think Hangman Page is going to be the champion.
Okay. Now, we can talk about tag teams and women as well.
Right.
First tag team champions, I would assume, are going to be Penta and Phoenix.
Probably.
I don't see the Bucks being the first champions. I don't see Cody being the first champion, because that would get the whole fucking internet with their Huggies in a bunch, talking about them booking themselves to win. When
that's not even Hulk Hogan all over again.
That's not, they don't even have a fucking say in that. That's Tony Khan's job.
Here.
First women's champion, I could see being Allie, as she is currently the biggest name that they have on their women's roster.
I'd like to see Kylie Ray. I'm a huge
Kylie
Kylie Ray fan.
And
But-
I'd like to see Britt Baker too.
Yeah. I'd like to see Penelope Ford.
All of their women can be champions.
Absolutely. And I think all of them, I think it's all going to play out on their TV show come in the fall. I don't think.
We also have Fight for the Fallen or Stand for the Fallen, whatever that's called.
Yeah, there's Fight
July.
for the Fallen for the victims of gun violence, and there's also Fighter Fest.
Fighter Fest and All In 2 was confirmed on being the Elite a couple weeks ago.
When's that going to be?
I don't know when it's going to be, but it's going to be at the place in Chicago again.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right.
Staples Center. Is that what that place is called?
No, that's in
Staples
LA.
Center?
It was the Sears Center.
Sears Center.
Next we have Camilo_Ruiz71. My two questions are: one, will AEW succeed on TV?
Yep.
Yes. And will they be able to conform to the rules on TV? Not sure what this means. It depends on the sponsors.
Probably censorship shit, because in New Japan and Ring of Honor, they've never had to censor themselves.
Well, it all depends. It all depends on the sponsors and the TV broadcast.
Yeah, if they go to TNT, they can easily get a TV 14 rating.
Yeah, and I think that would be fine. It'll be easy.
It would be a little more difficult if they were to go to TBS. TBS, they'd probably be relegated to a TV PG.
They're very good at innuendo, as in not having to bluntly say things. 2, what do you think about the wild card idea? Is it the beginning or the end of the brand split?
Yeah, and I hate it.
Yes.
It's fucking stupid.
There's been lots of rumors online about Fox wanting the brand split, and with all the money that they got from Fox and Saudi Arabia, they have to do what they have to do for Saudi Arabia and Fox.
Well, if they're going to get rid of the brand split, they better unify all the fucking belts, because I'm not going to have 20 goddamn belts in one entity.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Now, you said you got a last question over there?
Yes, it was just texted to me by my mother, actually.
Well, what's your mama got to say?
What storyline would you like to see for Kassius Ohno? Or would he be better off leaving, perhaps AEW? Kassius Ohno is currently an active member of the NXT UK roster. For people that are not up on NXT UK, they might not know that. They might just be watching NXT and wondering where the fuck Kassius is.
Yeah.
He's an active member of the NXT UK roster right now. As for what storylines, a feud between Kassius and Walter would be fantastic. It would be a feud of nothing but house fights.
Yeah. I think that Kassius Ohno / Chris Hero in his career right now is right exactly where he needs to be. He's traveling the developmental territories of WWE, helping get over talent and putting on good matches.
He's doing a lot of work in Evolve.
Yeah, that too. I think eventually he'll
become sort of a talent scout.
Yeah, or just like a guy who puts on really good matches with younger guys to get them over. He's really good on the mic still. I think they're utilizing him just fine, and I think that eventually he'll be a trainer at the PC. We know he's with Rachel Ellering, who just showed up there.
Yeah.
So maybe him just working Evolve and helping out at NXT is a lot sooner than we think.
Now, would I like to see him be a member of AEW? Obviously, but I'd like to see everybody be a member of AEW, except for Enzo and Cass.
Everyone we think needs treated better should go to AEW.
Yeah, because we're stupid marks and everybody should go to AEW. Well, sorry, but Ring of Honor is shit, and AEW is the new hotness.
Ring of Honor is getting better. I think they just need to fuse with New Japan and stop this. Oh, watch over here. Oh, watch over here. Oh, watch over here. Oh, watch over here. Just mesh it together. Sell your fucking company to New Japan and get it over with. Please. Let it become New Japan USA.
That being said, we want to personally congratulate friend of the show, Shane Taylor, on becoming the Ring of Honor Television Champion.
That is right. He won a 4-corner survival match, World of the Worlds, Night 2 in Toronto. It was Hiroki Goto, the champion Jeff Cobb, Shane Taylor, and Brody King. And Brody King got the 2-1-6 from Shane Taylor for the win. Jeff Cobb is still not pinned or submitted in his ROH career. I watched some more of the Worlds this week. I thought it was great. It kind of made me want to get back into ROH. But I know it's a weird quirk, but their aesthetic, their production is just a turnoff for me.
It's too bad for a company that's been around as long as they have been.
Right.
Their shit should be better.
It's like gray and red or something, and it just doesn't look good on the screen.
Yeah, and people may think that that's a weird nitpick, but it totally isn't at all. If something is not pleasing to the eye to watch, you don't want to watch it.
Exactly.
It makes you sleepy, even if the action
like
in the
G1
ring is amazing.
Supercard?
Yeah.
Okay. That shit had better lighting. The ring was lighter.
The white Ring of Honor banners looked crisp.
Yeah, and the different color ropes. Now, if Ring of Honor looked like that all the time, I would watch it all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they have bad talent or anything. It's just like the way it looks shitty to me. They've gone all in on this underground gritty aesthetic. What's going on? No, go ahead and talk about it. I want to see what this is.
Yeah, you can have that. The hell was that? Probably the train. But yeah. They've gone all in on this grainy underground aesthetic, which it works for what Ring of Honor is. But with the level of talent that Ring of Honor is bringing in now, they should start to transition into presenting themselves as a I don't want to be offensive here, as a more professional looking company.
Yeah.
Because Ring of Honor has far surpassed indie to me. You know what I mean?
I mean,
you know what I mean?
If we're talking about indie, the things that I think are indie are like
Beyond
TV. If you have a big contract with a TV company like Sinclair Broadcasting, you're not indie. You're not indie if you're a big Japanese promotion that runs the Tokyo Dome. You're not indie if a big company backs you like Impact.
And I'll tell you what.
So,
for as much as people may want to call it that, AEW
they just don't have a name for it.
Yeah, AEW is not going to be indie.
Oh no, they're going to be as close to second tier as possible.
AEW,
that's what I think. You got WWE on top of the mountain.
That's what I'm going to say. AEW should be going after Impact. They shouldn't be going after WWE.
Yeah, well, AEW, I think. I think AEW is going to focus on being itself first.
Yeah, which they should.
But right now, they are getting talent, like backstage talent from Impact. They're getting backstage talent from ROH. They're picking up wrestlers from the indies and hearing that, so it's going to be fresh. It's going to be new. It's going to be exciting. But like what I say on like the pyramid is like WWE's top.
Yeah.
Right. But number 2 doesn't mean indie. Number 3 doesn't mean indie. 4 is indie. And then there's other indies below that because AEW and stuff like that who have streaming services, they're above other indies. But, right, it all comes down to money and who's behind it.
And I don't want this to come off as us being negative about indie wrestling because indie wrestling is fucking amazing. Without indie wrestling, WWE wouldn't exist. Ring of Honor wouldn't exist. New Japan wouldn't exist without indie wrestling.
Right.
There is no big company without small company.
Correct. Feeder systems.
Yeah.
People got to start somewhere.
And you can go to an indie wrestling show and be more entertained for $20 than you would spending $80 to sit on the fucking roof of an arena watching a WWE show. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But that's true.
It's really in who you're invested in.
Yeah.
So, that ends the Q&A.
That ends the Q&A. It was a fun time.
I believe so.
Yes.
Next week, we will be covering Money in the Bank. The week after that, we will be covering Double or Nothing. So, look forward to that.
Double or Nothing is going to be so fucking good, dude.
Yes. Wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, noon, or night, you have a great one. Peace and love to all of you.
Peace out, DJ. Peace out, Christina. Thank you for sticking around the whole time.
Bang!